There's a few things we need to get to and talk about. We're going to talk about what's going on for today. Uh, Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the great compliments. You know, I hear that you guys appreciate, hold on one second. I hear that you all appreciate my work in regards to being open and honest about the trial. I hear that you guys appreciate in regards to how I've been covering it. I appreciate that. Um, I appreciate all that you guys are saying. I'm not certain what happened to that picture, so I went ahead and I'm using this one. Sometimes, if you're on a certain picture, it'll flip and go to something else. That would have been a great picture to have, but I exited and did something else, so it's okay. Always got a backup plan, y'all. Always got a backup plan. So we're going to get to what's supposed to happen. Allegedly, Diddy's supposed to show up remotely. We're going to get to that. We're going to talk about his friend having an interview with law crimes. We're going to talk about that and get his feedback. He showed up to the court every day, helping and being a good friend to Diddy. Of course, the mom showed up several times, pretty much almost every day as well. So we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. So let me do my disclaimer. Almost every day as well. Let me do my disclaimer. That way, when people start to flow in, we'll be all set. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. I might go live later on today as well because, like I said, Diddy has a court hearing, and he may, is what the news is reporting, he may show up remotely. And we had heard that before, that he may possibly show up remotely and may not be an inside court hearing. That's what they had said, and that's what we're hearing today. So we're gonna get to what's going on. Thanks for being here, everyone. Subscribe. If you missed it, we did an update. Cassie's lawyer did speak out in regards to what was going on. Excuse my voice. Cassie's lawyer did speak out. If you missed that, we may replay some of that. But we're definitely going to get into the news of what they're saying about what could possibly happen today. I'm sure later on today more people will cover it, but I figure it was best for me to go ahead and get this going. That way you guys will be updated on what's happening. So allow me to set that up. Do. Say good morning. Let me know you guys can hear me okay. Let me know you guys can hear me okay. Let me see if Inner City Press did anything. Let me know you guys can hear me okay. Um, Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we're going to do that. Hold on one second. Thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here. We're going to get into this video.
We've been following the U.S. versus Sean Combs trial. Okay, here we are, Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Monday, July 7th.
That was yesterday.
2025. Now, for those who've been following the U.S. versus Sean Combs trial, it ended, as we all know, last Wednesday with 2 guilty and 3 not guilty verdicts. Bail was denied, and there's a hearing tomorrow, Tuesday, on expedited sentencing. I'm assuming that his lawyers will be asking for time served whenever that does happen. We'll just have to see. There's also the question of relevant conduct, which is the things not convicted of but presented at trial. Now, speaking of that, if not, the sentencing will be October 3rd. But it could get moved up. I think it probably will be moved up. That's basically the judge said, I'm not going to let you out on bail, but I will speed up your sentencing if you want, if the probation department can produce a pretrial services report in time, which they probably can. high-profile defendant. Now, speaking of relevant conduct, one of the escorts mentioned at the trial is Clayton Howard. He was mentioned repeatedly. You can look over Inner City Press's threads or the 8 books that we put out, booklets, during the trial, one for each week, and you'll find Dave, as he was referred to many times. Well, Dave has filed a lawsuit that's quite contrary to how he was described. Now we understand why he wasn't one of the escorts tried. Who knows? There's many civil lawsuits out there. We're following them, and we'll see. We'll present them. People will have their different views.
Okay, so that's what he had to say, and let's get to the news about Diddy showing up remotely. Hold on one second. Like the videos, you guys come in. Like the videos, you guys come in.
Less than a week after his sex trafficking and racketeering case wrapped up and saw him acquitted on 2 serious charges, but still faces up to 20 years behind bars on lesser charges.
Music mogul is expected to appear remotely during that hearing, which will...
So that's the news saying that he's supposed to appear remotely. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Discuss whether or not to move up his sentencing date. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate live in Lower Manhattan this morning with the very latest. Phil?
Charlene Pedro, good morning. It's been nearly a week since Sean Combs was convicted of 2 of the 5 criminal counts in his criminal case. Well, Sean Combs remains in a Brooklyn jail. That's after a judge had denied him a bond. He still remains there, and the judge has thought for October as a sentencing date. Now, the defense and the prosecution are expected to meet in a virtual hearing later today to come up with an expedited date. Now, it was a dramatic day at the federal courthouse last week. After the verdict was read, the self-proclaimed bad boy dropped to his knees after a jury struggled to reach a verdict in their deliberations. He was denied bond after his conviction of 2 counts of prostitution-related offenses and a judge citing a history of domestic violence. For Combs' legal team, they say their fight is far from over. Sean Combs was acquitted of the top charges that included sex trafficking and racketeering that would have put one of hip-hop's most celebrated figures behind bars for life, as well as 2 counts of sex trafficking tied to former girlfriend Cassandra Ventura and another witness identified as Jane. If he was convicted of that charge, the mandatory minimum would have been 15 years. While Combs' sentence will come down to Judge Arun Subramanian, as federal guidelines for these charges are quite large, prosecutors are asking the judge to sentence Combs to 5 years. Meantime, defense attorneys are aiming for a sentence of 21 to 27 months.
Please like the videos, you guys come in, and thank you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
For around 2 years. Now, Sean Combs has spent about 10 months behind bars since he was arrested. That was last fall. Now, we also do know that today's virtual hearing is set for 2 p.m. We are live outside of the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. I'm Phil Tate, Channel.
So it is set for 2 p.m. today. So maybe there will be more people outside the courtroom because it is set for 2 p.m. I want to say there may still be media people that's still out there. They may be going to be outside the courtroom. Remember when the verdict came in, many people thought that the judge may release Diddy, but that's not what happened. People outside were pushed. Some were still on one side, some were on the other side. There were still reporters right in front of the courthouse. There was reporters across the street. So there's some misinformation there. The police wanted to clear out because if there was a verdict of him being released, they wanted to be able to control the crowd. It wasn't about somebody else. The police got into a line side by side. They moved most of the people across the street. There were still reporters on the other side because reporters do have a right to be in front of the courtroom. So there were still reporters. There were still everyday people, the public near the courthouse as well. So some people are trying to say there was a situation where, the police had to control the crowd. They wanted to control the crowd because the judge was still making the decision if he was going to release him or not. So there's some misinformation out there and we're clearing it up. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? I might have to grab my other... Sorry about that. You guys can hear me okay? I hope so. We're going to get to his friend. We're going to get to his friend speaking in regards to a most recent interview. One of his friends were there pretty much every day. He's the one that was passing out the shirts in regards to Frico is not a Rico or something. Thank you. I thought so because when I came in, I thought I could hear myself. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, let's get to his friend speaking with Law Crimes, and he's going to tell, how he feels, what his thoughts are, and what's possibly forthcoming.
Chief
Finney, Sean Combs' apparent close friend for years, who's been a staple during the Diddy trial,
Hold
wearing
on.
attire like Free Puff, even urging him to deny Sean Combs bail pending sentencing, which, by the way, Judge Arun Subramanian did. We now have a reaction from somebody else. We have a reaction from somebody that we've never spoken to before. Someone, though, who has been quite visible during this trial. Somebody you may recognize, Charlucci Finney. Charlucci is somebody who describes himself as Diddy's close friend for over 30 years, who has apparently showed up to every day of this trial. He has worn attire like Free Puff. He has been seen exiting the courthouse with Combs' family. In fact, the other day, he and others stood outside the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, playing music and shouting Free Diddy. So, we wanted to sit down with him. We wanted to talk to him about his thoughts about the trial, the evidence, the verdict, what we can expect from Diddy once he's free. Here's my interview with Charlucci. Take a look. Charlucci, thank you so much for coming on. I got to tell you, I think, I thought I covered this case and was there for almost every day and covering it almost every day. You were there even before the trial started, right? You were there for every part of this criminal process, right?
Yes, sir.
And why were you there for everything?
Because that's my brother, and that was my responsibility as his brother.
And how long have you known? How long have you known him? How long have you known Sean?
Close to 40 years, like late 80s.
Wow.
88,
wow.
89. Yeah.
Wow. So I got to ask, reaction to the verdict?
Bittersweet. I was happy that the big stuff was all to me. All this is big. Let's be clear, because he's behind bars. But the RICO, the sex trafficking, those carry like exuberant amount of years, 100 years, 50 years. And, this guy's never getting out. So me hearing those were not. He was not convicted of that. He was acquitted of those. That felt good. But at the end of the day, I wanted to see him walk out of here, and that just wasn't what it was today. And the fight still goes on.
And we're going to talk about that, what you think the sentence might be. But for those were the major charges: racketeering, sex trafficking. Could have been life in prison. Could have been minimum 15 years in prison. When the jury was deliberating and they were sending notes back and forth, were you nervous that he was going to be convicted of the top charges?
I never thought he was going to be convicted of the top charges. I always believed that they were going to find him innocent of that because he was innocent of it. And that's always been my stance. And as you see in my show, a FRICO is not a RICO. All that they always showed, as far as I knew, was domestic violence, which is a terrible situation. But that's what they hung the case upon. The government told people there was multiple victims. They didn't tell people that there were two girlfriends, that he was a toxic drug addict.
Fair use reaction clip. Like the video, like the video. Like the video. Thanks for being here, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe. We're almost at 40K. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
People that there were two girlfriends, that he was a toxic drug addict, drug-driven relationship. That there probably wouldn't have got him indicted. Had they said this, hey, listen, I'm going to bring this guy to court. He has two girlfriends that he's been having gratuitous consensual sex with, threesomes, and voyeurism. And I also want to throw in some drugs. So I want to lock him up for the rest of his life and take everything he's worked hard for. He would have never got a conviction, right? So they had to come the other route. Multiple women. Anything more than one is multiple, so it's plain semantics. So people thought he was just snatching people off the street, drugging them, and making them sex trafficking them. So that's what the normal person thought.
By the way, you know how there were no cameras allowed in the Diddy courtroom? There was no recording devices that were allowed. It's frustrating. It's incredibly frustrating because how great would it have been to have Claude Notepin with us, this tiny wearable AI-powered device?
Hold on.
Completely change, unpin it, hang it like...
He did a commercial. Hold on through that. Yeah, many people were not happy that there could not be cameras or even pictures. What about photographers just in there, just to get a realistic photo of what was going on? Some of the artists that were drawing were saying that they were kind of exhausted from drawing. Well, next time, maybe call one of my friends. They might be able to, help y'all out. You're a little bit younger, but anyway. But yeah, many people were upset that they could not have reporters in the room. They should have been able to have established reporters in the room. But that's what it is. That's how it's always ran. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Everything. It transcribes in 112 languages. It automatically tags speakers. And
hold on, he's still.
They talked about the plane incident.
Okay, now we're moving forward. His commercial's over. We're listening to Law Crimes. It's being reported that Diddy is supposed to show up remotely today, possibly at 2 or 2:30 p.m. today. Let's continue.
They land and he demands a freak off. They talked about Daniel Phillips' testimony. These were jury asked for readback of this testimony. Jane, they talk about an alleged violent encounter from June of 2024. They highlighted her text messages where she seemingly was reluctant about engaging in this. Was any of those points, did that make you feel different at any of those points? Or how did you view those alleged episodes?
Alleged episodes, I took it as them having a difference of words or agreeing and not agreeing on a certain situation that's in their own personal life, their own personal bedroom. I wasn't there to see the stuff that was alleged. And also, um, that's not what the government said. They said at the beginning that all this was forced, not 78 sexual encounters, and she decided not to do one out of the 78. She's gonna just do 77. You know what I'm saying? So they had everybody hooked on that. Every last one of them was. It's only later on in the testimonies and in the trial that the government decided to say, hey, you know what? We're not worried about the other ones. We're just worried about these two. And that was crazy to me.
One of the things I wanted to ask you, since you followed the case as much as anybody, there were two ways to look at it, right? You could say, Jane, Cassie, they're telling 100% the truth, but it's the prosecution who's transforming what they're saying into a federal crime, or they're not telling the truth. Do you think Cassie and Jane were telling the truth?
Good question.
I guess they were telling their truth. There's the truth and their truth. I just think that they was given opportunity just to tell their truth. The truth is what got him acquitted. That's what got him acquitted, the truth.
Do you think there was any point when he wanted to testify, he wanted to explain his side of the story, Sean?
Part of me says yes, because I know him. You know, he's not like he don't like to be bullied. He don't like nobody like saying he did stuff and he can't speak up for himself. Like, you know, if there's ever an encounter or something going on, he don't like nobody to be like, you know, I'll talk for you. He likes to speak for himself. The part of me would say yes, but you know, I don't know. We didn't speak about that.
Have you spoken to him during the trial, after the verdict? Have you had a chance to talk to him? How's he doing?
I talk to him like 3 times a week. Wow. I talk to him throughout the trial. We make signs and and like I tell you about, he's a selfless guy. Like when I come in there, he turns around and says, "You here again?" Cracking jokes. And he'd be like, are you eating? It's very hot outside. Are you hydrated? Like he's always asking me these things. I'd be like, yo, go, bro, be easy. I'm here to check on you. I'm good. I'm worried about you. You come here every day on time, and you sit on them hard benches. They gotta be hurting. I'm like, nah. Seeing you back there's hurting.
How's he doing after the verdict?
As you can imagine, he's definitely pleased about being acquitted for those large charges. Of course, he's not happy about still remaining in jail because when the judge asked him, "You would like to go home, wouldn't you?" He was like, "Yes." And then they come back and they say, "No, that was a pretty much a letdown. We thought he was coming home."
Are you worried about what his sentence?
That's kind of cool. He was worried about his best friend. Are you eating? It's hot outside. When you've been friends with someone for so long, you can kind of, communicate with your eyes. So, of course, when the judge asked, would you like to go home? Yeah, he did. Allegedly, we're hearing he put his hands together saying yes, yes. And then they decided no. And then, of course, letters came in. Please don't release. We're fearing for our lives. Da 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 da. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. There's about 191 in the building. Can I please get all 191 to subscribe? We're trying to hit 40K. And continue to hit the like button, you guys. Let's get the likes to 100. The views should match the likes. The views should match the likes. Let's continue.
This might be?
No, just concerned, not worried, because he's not a predicate. He's never been to jail. He don't have a history of criminal activity. So the charges carry 0 to maybe 10 years, and for his eligibility in that, the government wanted 56 months, something like that. The defense asked for 24. I'm thinking they're gonna meet somewhere, between.
Good morning, Paris. I've been working so hard. I hope you enjoyed your 4th of July. I did. I hope all is well with the fam. Welcome back. My girl is back, y'all. Everyone say good morning, Paris. Yes, Paris. So much has happened since we saw each other last. People are being called out as far as liars. People are trying to act like they're victims. So much has been going on. I've been giving people the real tea, talking about what's really going on. Diddy's allegedly supposed to show up remotely today. People are saying he's supposed to show up in court. So I've been bringing people the TTT of what's really going on. We addressed it. Now we're moving on and we're letting people know what's going on. So I'm happy you're back. Good morning. Good morning. Everybody say good morning, Paris. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Maybe no time in 24 months. I'm hoping he gets time served.
Yeah, I mean, because he's already been there for 9 months,
yeah,
10 months. Yeah. And what has his experience been like at the MDC?
He's been a model prisoner.
Thank you for saying you love my voice. A lot of people say that. I used to, back a long time ago, before I met my boo, my bae, my guy friend used to love me talking to him while he was at work. And it's like, babe, I can't talk to you all day. I got stuff to do. But a lot of people say that. I used to do I used to do receptionist work, customer service work. I used to do a lot of stuff with my voice. Some say I should start a podcast. I don't know about that, but yeah, I appreciate you guys. And this is early. This is early, so I appreciate you guys for being here. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
He's not causing any trouble. He's not getting, and as you can see, he's not been getting rid of. He has not been causing any type of uncomfort for the rest of the inmates. He's just been in there just doing his time and focusing on getting out.
First off, this is my page. I'm going to talk how I want. I'll go through what I did yesterday. You don't tell me what to do. Oh, you must be new. Don't tell me what to do. Goodbye. Let's continue. Fair use. And I'm going to say hi to my girl Paris. Real talk. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
What did you make of the allegations from prosecutors before the trial that he was improperly using, phone record, the phones and content communication services to reach out to people? What did you make of that?
Good morning.
They were trying everything they possibly can to paint him as a mobster, gangster type of individual. Like, he's using the phone, he's doing this. He's reaching out to his kids, asking kids how they doing. He's never been separated from his children. He got 7 kids, and 4 of whom mother is been passed on. God bless her. And he's the only parent that the children had. And to be separated from them, he had to, he was trying to just call and check on his kids. They try to make everything. They just, you never heard the saying, don't make a federal case out of it? That's what happened.
Yeah, I think I've used that phrase. They
make a federal case out of everything.
Has he told you, let's say he gets time served, okay, and let's say he gets released in October, maybe sometime sooner. Has he indicated what he wants to do with his life moving forward?
He's trying to do, Sean's a very, very smart guy. And I'm saying he'll become a billionaire and the creator of all these businesses, not being a smart person. He's already formatted in his brain what he's going to get out. And that's for the world to see. Well, I can say to be continued. But I know the first thing he's going to do is go see his mom, kiss all over her, love all over her. Same thing with his children. She's going to cook him the best meal he ever had.
Good morning. Thank you.
He's just going to be loved around his family. That's what he just missed all that. He missed birthdays. He missed Christmases. He missed Thanksgivings. He missed all that graduations. He missed all the important factors in his children's life.
Hold on. Fair use reaction clip. Good morning. Good morning. Please subscribe, everyone. We're almost at 40K. Can I please get 266 people to subscribe? I'm letting this commercial go past. Yeah, let's get the likes up, you guys. The likes should match the views. We should have at least 150 likes. All it is a double tapping of a screen. That's free. I haven't asked for no money. I haven't asked for no super chats. I haven't asked for nothing in the last 6 weeks. I've been bringing y'all the real tea. So let's get the likes up. Double tap the screen, please. And thank you. Let's continue. If you're just now coming in, this is Diddy's friend speaking to Law Crimes about their interaction, how he feels about being in there, missing what he's missed in regards to the children's lives. Let's continue. Fair use reaction reaction clip. Yeah, the TT. Let's continue.
Is it a concern that the public looks at him differently after everything that came out at the trial or in the civil suits?
Free for tea.
No, that's his personal life. That's his personal. For somebody to pay attention to what's going on in your bedroom, to me is insane. You can't. I don't care what you do in your bedroom.
Do you think people are going to look at him differently after the Cassie tape, 2016 tape?
What they're going to look at, they seen a dark Sean. That was a drug-induced toxic Sean. That wasn't a Sean or the Puff or the Diddy that they know and I know, right? So they understand that this is the reason why you don't let your brother drive home drunk, because he's impaired. There's a reason why you wouldn't let a person that's on drugs babysit your child, because they're impaired. They're not going to make the right decisions. And there's a reason why some people are like, don't bring Bobby to the party. He's been drinking. Bobby's normally a nice guy, but if he has a couple of drinks, Bobby might act up. So being a drug-induced Sean Combs is a totally different person from a normal, clean Sean Combs who's been in jail for 10 months and that's clean.
So wow. You think his lifestyle is going to be different when he's released?
I think the drug-induced part of it will be different. There's rehab, because we're definitely doing that with him to make sure he stays clean. We're definitely doing some counseling as far as anger management, so we know where he went wrong and how to channel certain things opposed to dealing with it through drugs. We don't know what kind of pain he was in, and that's what I want to talk about when he get out. What made him do drugs. Because people, they don't start with one morning. You don't want to do drugs. It could have been something tragic. The thing was he lost the love of his life. There's a lot of things that he went through in life. You figure the death of Biggie, the death of his wife, his mentor Andre Harrell. I have yet to lose someone, that many people back to back in my life. I don't know what kind of pain a person like that can actually endure.
Well, I mean, it's good to hear that he's going to help himself, better himself when he comes out. I guess the question is, this whole case was built upon his sex life.
Now, many people would ask, is he not getting some type of counseling inside? Is he not doing some type of rehab inside? Can't you do some of that inside right now? That's good that that's what he's going to do outside. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. I really like his friend. He's been kind. He was speaking with YouTubers. He was speaking with reporters. Very kind, very considerate, trying to be very positive outside the courtroom, showing up every day. His friend seems really cool. And this is him. This is how he spoke to people outside. Very respectful. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
It really was. And what he was convicted of had to do with prostitution. I mean, do you think he's going to continue to engage in anything that's related to that? Or after all this, he's going to say, I'm done?
No. First of all, he's done. Right? I already know he's done. And secondly, he didn't think this was crimes.
Yeah, I would think so too, Paris.
Until I sat through this case, I would have never thought that those was crimes. Never. It changed me as a person. Like I meet somebody like, hey, listen, no, we're not doing that. Ain't no flying nobody anywhere. I mean, there's no hooking up, doing none of that. I tell everybody, practice monogamy. You have somebody. That's what we need to be doing. I just think that's what he's at mentally.
Throughout the whole case, all the evidence, all the videos, all the text messages, the voice notes, was anything surprising to you about Sean? Something you're like, I can't believe this is, my friend. I didn't know this was going on. I didn't know this about him. Were you surprised? Were you concerned about anything you saw?
Good question.
I was concerned about it all. But I really didn't want to hear all his personal sexual stuff. And I just think the jury shouldn't hear all that neither, because you have older women sitting in the jury. I seen one of the jurors, she had to be maybe like in her 70s, and she was made to look at these videos, which is, to me, totally inappropriate. Then you have women jurors sitting next to male jurors, and they have to watch certain things. I just think that certain things are inappropriate.
Paris, are you clocking the tea? Paris, are you watching and clocking the tea? Me and you be eye to eye about stuff. Are you clocking it? You see how he's asking certain questions. You see how he's delivering. Law crimes is no joke. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Only thing that really bothered me, of course, seeing the video of Cassie, what I'm saying? Seeing her up there like that, and knowing that he's the one who caused it. Yeah, that bothered me. What I'm saying? But I also knew what Sean did that. That wasn't my friend that did that. That was a drug-induced, a bunch of toxic stuff going on there.
You know his life so well. And
I'm going to just say it. Y'all, his friend is admitting what he was into is not that great and healthy. And what he's into, and jurors having to see his life. Him being on substances. Older people having to be inside of the room, his bedroom. Him not thinking the swinger life of what he did was not normal. But what he did to Cassie's not normal. That's what we want to hear him ask about the Cassie situation. But are y'all clocking the tea in regards to his good questions? Most people are able to get help inside. Real talk. And this is why, and then he's saying about the counseling he needs. My friend must have been struggling because of the passing of people. But he's saying, did he just say wife? Are they trying to say him and Kim Porter was married? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. I think he said, or maybe he said partner. Kim Porter passed away, and many people have said he struggled after that. But didn't he date Lori Harvey within the same year Kim passed? And wasn't Lori Harvey cool with Kim Porter? And then didn't Lori Harvey delete the picture in honoring Kim Porter because she started dating Diddy? Okay, let's continue.
One of the names that came up so much during the trial was Christina Coram, right? His former chief of staff. I think almost every witness mentioned her. What should we be thinking about Christina Coram? Because basically, according to the government, she was a co-conspirator, right, Chief?
Who did he date? Lori Harvey, girl. He dated Lori Harvey. Him and Lori Harvey had matching outfits one day. He was dating Lori Harvey. Steve Harvey went to dinner with them. Oh, girl, my page covered that. Yes, he dated Lori, girl. Within the same year or the year after Kim passed. Lori Harvey was cool with Kim Porter. Yes, let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
He was a co-conspirator in this racketeering enterprise. What should we know about Christina Coram?
She wasn't a co-conspirator, and there's no racketeering enterprise.
See?
That's it.
Well, what should we know about her? What do we, the defense attorney person, what do you think?
A brilliant, smart girl. That's it. I mean, I really don't know Christina, but that's what I've heard about her. I never heard anything crazy or salacious, anything bad about her. She just was a hard worker, smart woman about her business. That's it. That's all I can say.
Do you think any of the witnesses outright lied on the stand about Sean?
Good question.
1,000%. You want to pick one?
You tell me.
Okay. Being hung out of a window 17 stories in the air by a gentleman.
He's been friends with Diddy for 30 years, but he really don't know Christina Coram. Okay, I like him though. But over here, we kind of listen and we try not to judge. But let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
That probably weighed about 190 pounds at the time and was wiggling and asking him don't drop you. And he's holding you over a terrace. And you don't drop. You don't fall. I challenge anybody to take a gallon of water in each arm and hold them out for 5 minutes like this. And let's see how. And that's only a gallon on each hand. Picture, let alone a human body. And it's wiggling and trying to get loose.
Okay, so the girl that talked about holding the girl over the balcony. Let's be very clear about this. Me and Paris talked about this because it was alleged that the dates were not correct in the courtroom. In Cassie's lawsuit, Cassie said allegedly it happened at this location. When the young girl outside of Cassie got on the stand, she said it happened at a different location. That's why people are calling that person alleged a liar. Remember, Paris? We covered that. They said we judge. Yes, we covered that. I covered that a YouTuber had Cassie's lawsuit being held up in his hand, and then he also had the notes from the trial, and he said that there were two different locations, and the date didn't match because Diddy and Cassie was at an award show. We covered the good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. Some stuff did not match up. And see, that's the one thing. If you're going to get on the stand, you better make sure you got your facts straight. They could have looked it up. She could have looked it up herself and knowing that the date that she was given when she took that stand could have been Googled. Diddy wasn't there on that date. So that in itself was a concern. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. But remember, he just said he don't really know. Okay, let's continue. Are you guys subscribing? I hope so. It's early morning, and I'm doing this for you guys to update you. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Hold on. Commercial. Hold on, commercial. Let's let the commercial go past. I hope you guys are subscribing. There's about 418 in the building. If all 418 subscribe, we will almost hit 40K. I like his friend though. For a friend to show up every day, that's a true friend. I'm just wondering about different statements, but I really like his friend. He was very kind to reporters. He was very respectful to YouTubers. He would take out moments just to speak with them. So very considerate, helping the family, helping the mother, but just certain stuff I'm questioning. Yes, hit that like, y'all. See, Paris, I be into trying to get the news out too. I should literally be waiting for the likes to get up to 100. But girl, I be wanting to hear stuff too. Let me continue. Fair use reaction clip. Okay.
Wiggling and trying to get loose.
So Brianna Bongolan, right?
1,000.
What's her incentive, you think, to lie on the stand?
Because they've all. My view, it's all financial. It's all financial. Just let me explain. She was all of them for the record. All of them didn't have any money. Jonathan was broke. No, don't have any more money. Cassie was living with her mom with her two children after living on Park Avenue, these nice places.
Wow.
So she got a $20 million settlement, and then another $30 million from the hotel. Then Brianna, they read her thing when she was texting Cassie, asking Cassie, can she use her balcony for her testimony?
These people sat with the feds about their case and their thoughts. People should remember, if they're going to state something of people trying to hold you over a balcony, your dates should be correct. I talked to y'all about that anyway. You get on that stand. Cassie did extremely well. Certain people that took the stand, certain things were side-eyed. They went in on Dawn, even Dawn stating that she felt when Cassie didn't hurry up and make the breakfast, what they felt Diddy was about to do to Cassie. How she worded, just talking about Diddy trying to attack her, just trying to make breakfast. Certain things, and you get on that stand, and I told y'all, and don't get me wrong, how they treated people that took the stand was almost deplorable. They're not the ones in jail. They're there to testify. They're putting their lives at risk. I think they got this mixed up. I did not like how they treated people that took the stand, but if you're going to take the stand, you better have your dates correct. Because they were able to look up that Diddy and Cassie was at an award show. He couldn't have held that person allegedly over the balcony. And that was a big concern. And Diddy's team asked for a mistrial because of that. Let's be very clear. You got to make sure you know, and I understand, period. Some of these people are on substances, but we talked about that. If you're ever in an uncomfortable situation, make sure you have notes. You know, we talked about that. We talked about certain stuff that people talked about on the stand. Good, bad, ugly, or different. We covered it all. So I get that people were saying even him being able to hold this person over the balcony, it's almost impossible. Diddy's tall, but the person was probably what, 5? I don't know how tall they said the person he allegedly held over the balcony, but they were saying it's almost impossible. Diddy would have had to be almost 7 feet tall to hold her over the balcony. You know what I'm saying? Now, maybe half her torso was over. Be very clear what parts. You know what I mean? So that was the biggest concern that people are saying there's no way he could have physically held her over and he was the height he was and the height she was. He would have almost had to be almost 7 feet tall. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
He asked, "Can she use it?" They're going back and forth.
Yes, notebook.
I'm not going to use the living room. Can I use you as a witness? They're doing that.
Keep stuff in your calendar and your phone. Keep notes in your phone, and or have a separate phone at your house. Call it, and that way you can keep notes. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Go back and forth. So that's a conspiracy right there. You got Cassie, Brianna, and Jonathan, and Kerry Morgan. All
yes, diaries.
Who's suing and who's going to get who got after Cassie got paid, and they all stayed in contact with Cassie throughout her trial. They were still able to talk to her. They said it on the stand. The government asked her, "When last I talked to Cassie?" "Oh, I talked to her yesterday." "Really? And you're a witness?" They did every last one of them.
Yes, check that. Clock that T. They didn't like that the people that were taking the stand were still communicating with one another. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
No, don't have any more money. Cassie was living with her mom with her 2 children after living on Park Avenue, these nice places, until she got a $20 million settlement, and then another $30 million from the hotel. Then Brianna, they read her thing where she was texting Cassie, asking Cassie, can she use her balcony for her testimony? She asked, can she use it? They're going back and forth. Well, can I use the living room? No, I'm not going to use the living room. Can I use you as a witness? They're doing that. All 3 of them go back and forth. So that's a conspiracy right there. You got Cassie, Brianna, and Jonathan, and Kerry Morgan all talking about who's suing and who's going to get who got after Cassie got paid. And they all stayed in contact with Cassie throughout her trial. They were still able to talk to her. They said it on the stand. The government asked her, "When last I talked to Cassie?" "Oh, I talked to her yesterday." "Really? And you're a witness?" They did every last one of them spoke to Cassie her whole testimony while she was on the stage, on that stand. And they were allowed to come in there and sit up there and fabricate and tell stories after speaking to the witness that was just on there.
What would you say to the counter argument? What the government said is, hey, listen, she settled. She got the money. Would she really go on the stand and perjure herself in a federal trial? What's her incentive to do that? What's your response to that?
Another commercial. Fair use reaction clip. Another commercial. So I guess they're stating that some of the witnesses shouldn't have been communicating with one another. I hope you guys are subscribing. Please subscribe. There's about 248 in the building. Let's get the likes up now, y'all. Okay. Real talk. The likes should match the views. If you're watching from a phone, press 1 and please double tap the screen. Let's get the likes to 100. Let's get the likes to 100. All it takes is a double tapping of the screen, or you hit the thumbs up above the video or below the video. Yeah, let's get the likes up, y'all. I am here bringing y'all to TTT on what's going on, and we're hearing from Diddy's friend. If you're just now coming in, thank you for subscribing and thank you for liking. I appreciate you, Jacob. Real talk. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sometimes I'm real silly in the morning. I haven't even had my coffee yet. I showered, I've changed. I do a routine before I go live. And that's why sometimes, Paris, I'll be like, who picked this time? There's a routine I have to do. I have to do hair. Even though y'all can't see me, gorgeous, yes. I do a routine before I even go live. So my voice is a little raspy because I haven't even had my coffee yet. I've had some great juice though. Big routine. Yeah, I need my coffee. And then sometimes I'm like an early bird, depending on me and my boo, my bae. But see, this schedule is something else. You know, you'll notice sometimes I'll even do my shorts early in the morning. You know, so let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Hold on.
In my opinion, was given immunity. In my opinion, because if she wasn't, she would be right behind bars with Mr. Combs. She's a co-conspirator. If they were going to charge something. She
Let me go back a little bit.
Who's suing and who's going to get who got after Cassie got paid, and they all stayed in contact with Cassie throughout her trial. They were still able to talk to her. They said it on the stand. The government asked her, "When last I talked to Cassie?" "Oh, I talked to her yesterday." "Really? And you're a witness?" They did every last one of them spoke to Cassie her whole testimony while she was on the stage, on that stand, and they were allowed to come in there and sit up there and fabricate and tell stories after speaking to the witness that was just on there.
What would you say to the counter argument? What the government said is, hey, listen, she settled, she got the money. Would she really go on the stand and perjure herself in a federal trial? What's her incentive to do that? What's your response to that?
For me, who are you talking about perjuring himself? Which one are you talking
about? Cassie. Let's say Cassie.
Oh, Cassie, in my opinion, was given immunity, in my opinion. Because if she wasn't, she would be right behind bars with Mr. Combs. Because she's a co-conspirator. If they were going to charge something. She acted in concert. She called the workers. She arranged everything. She paid them. The Daniels said that he never talked to press. He said that she called him and she talked to his manager. When he walked in, she told him, don't pay attention to Puff. He's in the corner. That's my husband. Don't pay attention to him. Don't talk to him. Don't do nothing. And proceeded to do what they do.
Well, now this like I've said this before, it's a massive win for Sean. I mean, yes, he was convicted, but considering what he was facing, it's a massive win.
Yes.
He's got all these civil lawsuits now. Do you know how he's going to prepare for them?
Okay, let's listen to what he has to say about the civil lawsuits. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
How he's going to deal with them. There's, I think, 66, 67 right now.
And the numbers going up every day. Everybody wake up in the morning. They got a lawsuit. First of all, this man can't be at all these places at the same time, and all of them say the same thing.
And I'll tell you, what's interesting? I'm happy you bring up the idea of what the case is about, because one of the things we were always struggling with is there was a lot of misconceptions about what this trial was going to look like, who was going to testify, what it was about. And I think one of the things we always tried to do was keep a sober analysis, like this is what it's really about, this is who's going to testify, because there are a lot of rumors and innuendos. And one of the things that I didn't even get a chance to talk to you about, I have to ask you, so I got your reaction to that. Physically, emotionally, what was it like for you to be in the room and hear that? And were you outside afterwards? Because I understand there was quite a scene outside the courthouse.
Good question.
I was at both places at both times. I was sitting there when the verdict was read. When the first one came through, not guilty, I just started crying. Not sobbing, but just a tear rolled down my face because I felt his release. I could feel his sigh. That big one was like oh, God. Because they was going to take everything from this man. Everything that he worked hard for. They was going to take that from his guy. For nothing. And then I went downstairs. They was squeezing baby oil on each other outside. It was crazy. They were screaming free puff. It was dancing. There's a lot of that, It was like that in the beginning. They wanted to crucify him. Everybody thought he was guilty and that was part of my job. I went outside every day after court, and I sat and I talked to every blogger.
See?
I talked to every YouTuber, every person walking by that had a question, because the family and the legal people had a gag order, so they could not speak up for him. I didn't have one. So I was out there, footnoted down the street, talking to everybody that had a question. Why are you wearing that shirt? I'll explain it to him. And then I'll take him through the case. I walk with the indictment.
Never paying salon prices.
Fair use reaction clip. I told y'all he was kind, speaking to different YouTubers. The family couldn't speak out, so he was the voice of reason for the family. I told y'all he tried to be a good dude and just trying to, speak up for his buddy. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Do you see any Do you see any drugs on this indictment? Because every person walking by that had a question, because the family and the legal people had a gag order, so they could not speak up for him. I didn't have one. So I was out there, footnoted down the street, talking to everybody that had a question. Why are you wearing that shirt? I'll explain it to him, and then I'll take him through the case. I walk with the indictment. You seen children on this indictment?
No.
Do you see any? Do you see any drugs on this indictment?
Right? Racketeering.
The racketeering must have been the drugs then, because many of us was wondering, why didn't they charge for what was in the house? Why didn't they charge for what was in the hotel? Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
But the things, in the technical terms,
no.
Do you see any? Do you see any drugs on this indictment?
The racketeering part.
But the racketeering part was it wasn't a racketeering, because they try to manipulate and say that because he handed her an ecstasy pill, that's drug distribution. Mm-hmm. See, all these are technical things. Technically, it is. You follow me? In the technical terms, that's drug distribution, right? But the average person hears drug distribution, they think he's a drug dealer. Like he's out there distributing drugs all around the country.
Yeah.
Like, it's a play on the words. Like when you said sex trafficking.
But you got to remember, too. Remember, Paris, when the assistant had to take it to show the loyalty? So it's not just Cassie. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip. Remember, the assistant took the stand stating Mr. Combs allegedly asked him to take a substance to show his loyalty. And remember how we talked about There's no way my boss is going to have me take a substance. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
Because they think taking your girlfriend to a threesome is sex trafficking. I would have never thought nothing like that.
No.
But look, the average person thought her drug trafficking, the sex trafficking, kids in shipping containers, women being held against their will. That's like I said, it's all semantics. When they said multiple victims, they didn't say two girlfriends. They made people believe it was multiple. Anything over one is multiple.
He dated more people. Stop playing. He dated more people outside of Cassie. Some people were MIA. We've seen him with Miss Young. I'm going to be general. Some of the people did not take the stand. Let's continue.
I've been saying since the beginning it's not only a complicated case, complicated charges, but while I saw where the prosecution was going, you never really know if they made their case because there were a lot of gray areas. There was a lot and look, the defense, I've said it before, I'll say it again, Sean had incredible lawyers.
Oh, man.
The cross-examination was really, really impressive. But I'll tell you, speaking to you, I can only imagine how much he appreciates you as a friend to be going out there and doing that. So.
And then remember, when the jurors were deliberating, that's when Gina came all out. That's when Gina came out shopping. Did an interview with TMZ. Really good timing, girl. When the jurors are deliberating, girl. He dated more people than Cassie. He dated more people than Jane. Many people question that because remember, Gina's situation would have been very parallel to Cassie's. And they might have pulled up, if Gina showed up, they might have pulled up that interview she did with TK. Because TK replayed that video last month. TK talked to one of Diddy's exes. Yes, don't act like there wasn't more women after Cassie. There was more women after Cassie than Jane.
And I know, look, I let everybody know inside baseball, as we're doing the interview, you're getting a ton of calls. You're a very wanted man right now, right after the verdict. So I'm gonna let you go. But Carlucci, thank you so much for coming on. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm a fan, dog, and this is an honor to even get to speak to you, dog. This is really, really amazing for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Law Crimes did an amazing job. His friend did an amazing job. He's not supposed to tell it all and tell on his friend. Yeah. Like the video, y'all. That was a really good interview. It was. But interesting, and I'm not surprised. He answered everything he could. I'm a trip. But he's a good dude, though. He's a good dude. He really tried to be out there for his friend. Let's talk about what Judge Mathis had to say, because he thought it would be the charges that the jury decided. Hold on one second. Fair use reaction clip. Like the video. Good morning, everyone. It's early. Paris, who picked this time? Who picked this time? Okay, hold on.
Of interstate transportation, convicted of interstate transportation of prostitutes.
This is Joe Mathis.
Only 2 crimes I believe he committed. As I've said in the beginning, after the closing arguments, I thought that would be the only thing they would convict him of, and that is the case. And I'm going to respect the juror's decision. On the other hand, he's been denied bail. I'm not sure if that's fair for 2 counts of interstate transportation of prostitutes, tricking. And in that sense, precedent shows that it's 21 to 27 months, indeed the guidelines for each count of interstate transportation of prostitutes for first-time offenders. As such, the sentencing should be in conjunction with precedent and in conjunction with first-time offenders. I'll also talk more about this on the Mathis Verdict podcast, or the clips that we'll be showing of the podcast over the weekend, but certainly next week we'll be discussing in thorough the...
So he felt that the jurors were going to do that in the first place. Yeah, I think you picked the time. Yes, go make some coffee. You should see my eyes. It's almost like, okay, I'm ready to go back to sleep. Real talk. Okay, you guys. You guys are just now coming in. I have to play this clip because you guys are just now coming in. We're going to talk about that Diddy is allegedly supposed to show up remotely. And I'm sure that it's going to be busy outside the courtroom because he's supposed to show up remotely. Like the video as you guys come in. Like the video as you guys come in. Yeah, that may be why I seem a little tired because I probably didn't have my coffee. And I don't have it every morning though. So, okay, let's get to the clip in regards to him being there. Yes, keep hitting the like, you guys.
Remotely during that hearing, which we'll discuss whether or not.
Later today, Sean Combs will be back.
And please subscribe. Let me go look at my subscribers. I hope you guys are subscribing. I hope you're supporting me to hit 40K this week. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
In front of a judge less than a week after his sex trafficking and racketeering case wrapped up and saw him acquitted on 2 serious charges, but still faces up to 20 years behind bars on lesser charges.
The music mogul is expected to appear remotely during that hearing, which we'll discuss whether or not to move up his sentencing date. Eyewitness News reporter Phil Tate live in Lower Manhattan this morning with the very latest. Phil?
Charlene Pedro, good morning. It's been nearly a week since Sean Combs was convicted of 2 of the 5 criminal counts in his criminal case. Well, Sean Combs remains in a Brooklyn jail. That's after a judge had denied him a bond. He still remains there, and the judge has thought for October as a sentencing date. Now, the defense and the prosecution are expected to meet in a virtual hearing later today to come up with an expedited date. Now, it was a dramatic day at the federal courthouse last week. After the verdict was read, the self-proclaimed bad boy dropped to his knees after a jury struggled to reach a verdict in their deliberations.
Let's get the likes up, you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Can I please get 100 more people to please subscribe and thank you? Yes, we're almost at 40K. I need 200 people to please subscribe and thank you. Yes, 200 people. We're definitely getting 1 million views every month now, Paris. We're at 1 million views every month. Please subscribe, you guys. Please double tap the screen. Hitting the like lets everyone know we're live. Hitting the like lets everyone know we're live. Yes, I deserve those subscribers. Yes, I do. Let's continue fair use reaction clip. If you're watching from a phone, double tap the screen, please. Thank you. If you're watching from a phone, double tap the screen, please, and thank you. The likes should match the views. Good morning, everyone.
He was denied bond after his conviction of 2 counts of prostitution-related offenses and a judge citing a history of domestic violence. For Combs' legal team, they say their fight is far from over. Sean Combs was acquitted of the top charges that included sex trafficking and racketeering that would have put one of hip-hop's most celebrated figures behind bars for life, as well as 2 counts of sex trafficking tied to former girlfriend Cassandra Ventura and another witness identified as Jane. If he was convicted of that charge, the mandatory minimum would have been 15 years. While Combs' sentence will come down to Judge Arun Subramanian, as federal guidelines for these charges are quite large, prosecutors are asking the judge to sentence Combs to 5 years. Meantime, defense attorneys are aiming for a sentence of 21 to 27 months, or around 2 years. Now, Sean Combs has spent about...
Yes, we're almost at 40K. Yes, I remember when we were at 3,000, 4,000. Now we're almost at 40K. Yes, thank you for your support, Paris. Yes, 10 months ago we were at 3 or 4,000, almost 5,000. Now we're almost at 40K. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Bring y'all to TTT. Need to get more memberships. Yes. There's other stuff I need to be focusing on. I guess because my schedule's so busy, I don't have time to be dragging stuff out. You know, I even said that, Paris, last Wednesday, Thursday. Got to do better with regards to memberships. Paris is a member. That's why I talked to her. She's also one of my mods. So, yeah, there's things I should have been doing a little bit different, but that's okay. Learning lesson. Real talk. Let's continue. Fair use reaction clip.
10 months behind bars since he was arrested. That was last fall. Now, we also do know that today's virtual hearing is set for 2 p.m. We are live outside of the federal courthouse in Lower Manhattan. I'm Phil Tate.
So virtual hearing is set for 2. If you're just now coming in, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being here. I actually have something I have to take care of. And it's going to bring me some money. So that's probably why my focus is I be chasing that money over there. Yeah, so I have some stuff I have to take care of. Victory, something I have been working on, finally came through. I just got the letter in the mail. So I be chasing other money. So I don't know. I gotta if y'all knew what YouTube was paying me, baby, you'd be like, wait, why? What's up? Yeah, so something I have to take care of. Something I got the letter in the mail. So yeah, I'm focused on that money, and I appreciate everyone. So go over there. There are memberships over there. Super chats are welcome. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Okay, since there is a hearing at 2, I may try and come live at 2 or 3, but I'm supposed to do something. If that falls through today, I may do that tomorrow. So my schedule is always busy, but I'm still trying to bring out a TTT and open and honesty. Paris, have you been noticing the falsehoods of what's been going on? Have you been caught up on that? Or no, you haven't been seeing the falsehoods? The falsehoods, the clickbait, the lies. It's a lot going on out there. Yeah, have you been catching some of that? Yeah. People have been calling out. People have been calling out the person that used to take my talking points. Yes. People have been calling out the person that's been taking my talking points. It's been a mess. And then I just watched a video this morning that it's a trip. And they're making stuff about them. Girl, it's not about you. What? A mob. People foaming at the mouth. What? Not true. Yeah, a lot going on. And then getting on news media, and then the news is not okay. Show me the video of them making unwelcoming comments to you. Show me the video of them threatening you. They can't show that. There was reporters around them. There wasn't a mob around them. Reporters were people. And see, this is the thing we talked about. I told y'all that a journalist was calling them out Monday, Tuesday, and then things went left on Thursday. I told y'all. Reporters were calling them out on Monday, Tuesday, and then things just went left that Thursday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then getting in the cab and saying all that. We saw what he said in the video. We saw what he said. But for the news media to report that and not verify her statements, that's concerning to me. You got to be careful with people like that because they'll lie on you. But, I don't do a lot of YouTube beefs. I could be making videos on that. We stay focused on the topic. But I'll generally tell y'all there's some lies going around. And there's another person that's causing conflict in regards to the lines. Yeah. There's people that's calling concerns in regards to the lines. Yeah, so that's an issue. And then some people are trying to play victim for clickbait. It's sad but true. Some people are trying to play victim for clickbait, and it's sad. And we literally have seen the videos, and we've literally heard the videos of what really happened. So, if that's how they get their clicks and views, that's on them. Yeah, shout out to the victims. And there are floods that's going on. Praying for people regarding that. So there's a lot going on. There really is. And there's some videos I was supposed to be doing, but sometimes I be so busy I can only do what I can do. Oh, thank you guys. We're at 53 likes. Let's get the likes up, you guys. Let's see the likes up. So if you're just now coming in, we covered in regards to Diddy's hearing. We heard from Diddy's friend today. We heard about how Diddy was feeling, kind of worried about his friend, how he felt about KK. Stated he really didn't know her all that well. He talked about Diddy's substances and feeling that once he gets out, that what the things that they're going to focus on in regards to getting him counseling, getting him some substance help. So we talked about a lot today. So I hope everyone enjoyed the show. Like I said, I have some things I have to do. I literally got 20 minutes before I got to take care of that. So I appreciate you all. Have a great day. I will try and go back live again, either 2, 3, or 4, or 5 or 6. I don't know, because if I have to step out, I have to step out, and I'm not going to go live in my car. Sometimes I do if I have to catch up on a video, and it'll just be a black screen. But I appreciate you all. Let's see. Is there anything that's going on? Some people are just now coming in because some people don't know the reason why they're trying to meet today. Is being reported that Diddy wants to move up the sentencing. He doesn't want to wait till October. So let me play this so people really understand what's going on. Hold on one second. People may not really understand what's going on. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Russell Lee, Inner City Press, here at the Southern District of New York Courthouse today, Monday,
Thank
July
you, Paris.
7th. 2025. Now, for those who've been following the U.S. versus Sean Combs trial, it ended, as we all know, last Wednesday with 2 guilty and 3 not guilty verdicts. Bail was denied, and there's a hearing tomorrow,
which is
Tuesday,
today,
on expedited sentencing. I'm assuming that his lawyers will be asking for time served whenever that does happen. We'll just have to see. There's also the question of relevant conduct, which is the things not convicted of but presented at trial. Now, speaking of that, if not, the sentencing will be October 3rd. But it could get moved up. I think it probably will be moved up. That's basically the judge said, I'm not going to let you out on bail, but I will speed up your sentencing if you want, if the probation department can produce a pretrial services report in time, which they probably can. It's a high-profile defendant. Now, speaking of relevant conduct, one of the escorts mentioned at the trial is Clayton Howard. He was mentioned repeatedly. You can look over Inner City Press's threads or the 8 books that we put out, booklets, during the trial, one for each week, and you'll find Dave, as he was referred to many times. Well, Dave has filed a lawsuit that's quite contrary to how he was described. Now we understand why he wasn't one of the escorts tried. Who knows? There's many civil lawsuits out there. We're following them, and we'll see. Well, we you know.
So if you missed that video, you guys, Dave, who is Clayton Howard, he wanted to take the stand. They did not want him to take the stand, allegedly, because he would have went off on Cassie. He would have said, this is what Cassie was doing. He would have said, this is what happened between me and Cassie. He would have said he allegedly caught a health issue between him and Cassie. Many people are saying, is that true? If you were a worker, allegedly, you have to be careful what I say. If you were a worker, how do we not know you slept with your own partner, your own girlfriend? How do we know Cassie gave it to you? He's making different allegations. He had a health concern after being with Cassie, allegedly. There was a situation in regards to if a woman becomes impregnated, he felt that the impregnation was the baby's no longer here. I have to be careful what I say. My everyday life, I can go on, but here I have to be careful. He's making different allegations. People say, where's the proof? If Cassie was sleeping around with other workers, how do we know that you got something from her? How do we know that you were the one that impregnated her? So go check out that video. You guys, I was live almost every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I didn't take Friday and Saturday off. I normally don't go live Saturday, Sunday, but I did. Numbers were decent, really decent, because there was so much going on after the verdict. So yeah, there's an alleged lawsuit out there that people are trying to say certain things about Cassie. And see, that's the other thing too. If you guys did not check out my video, the chef went off saying that they contacted her. The chef in the corner, this young lady here, go check out her video on Neighborhood Talk. Go check out her video on Neighborhood Talk and Hollywood Unlocked. She was saying she was contacted by the feds and someone allegedly offered to pay her attorney fees. And she's saying she's fearful. This is the chef. If you're just not coming in, this is the chef. We did that video yesterday. So I've been bringing the TTT, y'all. Yes, let's get the likes up. Can I please get 100 people to double tap that screen? And thank you. Can I please get 100 people to double tap that screen? If you already hit like, thank you. If you already subscribed, thank you. Okay, you guys, I have to go. Thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the channel. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged, in our opinion, and for entertainment purposes only. Thanks for tuning in. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Even at this grown age, people will try and test me. And I say, hold up. I just finished take care of XYZ. I'm not playing with you today. Call somebody else and play with them. Don't play with me and I'll hang up. They'll call a week later, say, I apologize. I was going through something. It's like, I'm not here to play with. I will help you. I will try and assist you if I have time. But for me, family stuff comes first. People sometimes think I'm their counselor. Real talk. People really think I'm their counselor. I don't get paid for counseling. And I'm very particular about who comes to our crib because you'll sit there and try and have me counsel you. No, I don't get paid for that. You're not messing up my joy, my day. Me having a great time with my boo, my babe. You think I'm about to sit here and listen to your misery? No. I'm very protective of myself and my family because they will try and drain the heck out of me. But I try and be there for people. I do. I do. I do. But I've had to back away from a lot of people and their drama and issues. And then, like, even last week, somebody tried to hold up. It's about to be the holiday. This Diddy trial is over and you trying to bring your trial. I don't have time to counsel you. I can't. I was out shopping, smiling. They was like, "Oh, you in a good mood?" Yes, the Diddy trial is over. And no, I'm not defending. Praying for the victims. Praying for people in regards to Texas. This heat has been hot. Check on your friends. Check on the elderly. Check on people. Yes. So I got it all out. I appreciate y'all. Be blessed. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Can I please get another 50 people to double tap that screen? Can I please get another 50 people to double tap that screen? To hit the like? We're at 58 likes. Can we please hit the like button? We're at 58 likes. 50 more people. Please double tap the screen. And some people may have already hit it, but some people may have not. Hit the like. Let's get the likes up. Thank you. Be kind in the comments. Be kind in the comments. Okay, time you out. Goodbye. Thanks for being here, everyone. I appreciate you. Focus on healthy, safe relationships. Be around people that's loving, kind, and respectful. Have a blessed day. Goodbye.